Rob Bloom, the head coach of Westlake, who won 28 games this year, the county coach of the year.
Yeah, he really took Westlake to unprecedented territory.
You know, he used to coach my alma mater, North Hollywood High School in the San Fernando Valley.
The Fighting Huskies, Randy.
And the two-time Ventura County Player of the Year, Ron Lee. We've seen him a lot tonight. And who's that man with him?
Will Cowan, the Ventura College athletic director. Yep.
Will's a good guy. Talked to him for a long time prior to the game. And congratulations, Will's dropped a lot of weight, and he is to be commended. He looks great. Dixon knocks down the jumper. And the West here playing with some fire. They're leading by 4.
Let's let the real basketball begin. It is 96-92. This West team leading with 9:40 left, and now it's kind of a free-for-all a little bit. They can sub as much as they want. Really, this is going to be an exciting fourth quarter.
And the West forcing another turnover. And now we have a tie-up. Nice job by Monseg, and because of that, the East will get the ball back.
Nearly a fast break there. And Randy, I just want to see one more fast break for the East with McCoy and Woods, because we've seen it twice already, and the finish has been phenomenal with Scott Woods, 6'9", flying through the air. One more time.
Lee's shot, saved by Dakota Pierce, and it keeps the possession alive. Nice job by Dakota. Here's Lazoya. He hits again. That's a 2-point shot. And Grant Lazoya has 22 points.
Wow.
He has been sensational for the East.
Filthy stuff. Bring it.
Tatnall answers. You know, these guys are scoring even with a hand in their face. Lazoya again.
Oh, my goodness.
He shot that from the San Fernando Valley, didn't he?
It was from pretty far out, Randy.
Different area code for Lazoya. What's he have, 25 in the game? And the West up by 1 here. It's obvious that both teams are going to go well above the century mark. I like Tatnall's set shot, the guy with the ball here. He's out of the 50s. That was blocked by Woods. That's his 5th block. Great job by Davis on the follow, guiding it back in.
Here in his home gym, we've seen so many great games at this high school over the years. This is shaping up to be another one.
Waddle inside, that's out of bounds to the West.
I thought this game would be all East, but the West has displayed their athleticism and ability, and they lead now with 8:12 to go.
Yeah, you thought it would be a blowout.
I really did. You just looked at this East roster, but these boys in the West have really impressed me.
Tatnall a little bit shy. Here comes Grant Lazoya. Alex Monseg with a gorgeous delivery and an easy one for Ron Lee. That was a pretty good fast break.
Calabasas to Oak Park. Geez, they're practically neighbors.
Dixon and Lee paired against one another. And that's a walk against Davis. How about the blocks of Scott Woods there? And you know, he'd blocked 5 before, and a little bit of the intimidation factor, and the Triton turned it over. But I love what Woods has been able to do defensively in this game.
So Craig Griffin changes it up and goes with the full line change. 5 in, 5 out. He goes for that same move as the starting 5 that opened the fourth quarter come out, and maybe he'll just limit those changes 1 for 1, if you will, to the final 5 minutes. Very cool.
Danny, the East here with a chance to take the lead. McCoy with the runner, and they have the advantage. Oh, a floater in the lane for Max McCoy.
I was worried about the scoreboard, man. I didn't know if it had 100 on there, but we made it.
Well, maybe they brought these scoreboards in for the game, knowing that they would go over the century mark. Here's a air ball, and here comes the East. Fanjoy from the wing, got it. The 3 ball from Tanner Fanjoy.
I'll tell you one thing, this scoreboard's gonna need a rest. It's gonna need a few days off after how many points have been put up tonight.
Scoreboard will be fine. I don't know about the operator, though. Those are the people that are working the scoreboards. Been moving at a very rapid pace. West down by 4. Davis is hit and fouled by Fanjoy.
This is, I think it's an important couple free throws for the West because the East is stretched out to this 4-point lead. You don't want to let the game get away. You know, you need to keep them within touching distance, and the East has established that rhythm as Patrick Kenny and Daniel Crocker get set to come in. Dixon needs to knock down these free throws.
Yeah, he's a long and lanky player, Reggie Dixon. He's 6'4", but he plays more like he's 6'7" or 6'8", doesn't he?
Without a doubt.
With that body. The team MVP for the Spartans of Rio Mesa. 16.5 points and 7 rebounds a game. Fluid motion there. He's had a nice game. He has 15 points. 104 to 102. A lot of players in double digits with these kind of numbers up on the board. Fanjoy. Good rebound by Tyler. Tyler.
Wow.
Marte all the way. Dixon got it back and puts it in. Reggie Dixon.
Great move by Dixon. Never gave up, puts that back, and we're tied back at 104.
And Slajchert gives the East the lead again.
He might not be the most dynamic player on the floor, but he has been probably the most fun to watch. He's just loving this night.
So's Dixon. Reggie Dixon with the 3 ball gives his side the lead. A back and forth affair, and Covey aims and cannot put it in. And the West with the ball in a 1-point lead. Tyler, scoop shot empty. There's Dixon on the fly. Reggie Dixon playing hard. And again, and he scores. Reggie Dixon inside, controlling the game. 109-106.
11 points for Reggie Dixon here in the fourth.
Fabulous stanza for Dixon. He's in the running, I would think, for the MVP of the game with this outburst.
No question about that, with what he's done in the second half, with what Grant Lazoya has done as well. Fans
here at Pacifica High School in Oxnard, California, have been thoroughly entertained. Coy threw that one up a little bit too strong over the iron, and here comes Anthony Tiart. To Tyler, to Dixon.
He has turned this game around, has Dixon, and now the West opens up a 5-point lead.
Slajchert's had a nice game.
And it looks like Craig Griffin takes a timeout.
JD's got 20 on the evening. Again, he was the co-player of the year in the Tri-Valley League with his teammate Ron Lee.
Like you said, he loves Larry
111 to 108 here.
It's just stupid numbers. It's ridiculous. There's Dixon. What a quarter he has had. Really helping the game as a whole with his play pick up the pace. You know, once Dixon knocked down a big shot, ran on the break, I think everybody started following suit for Reggie Dixon.
And again, I love his effort around the basket. I mean, he's been going up, even when he misses it, he's been able to gobble it up, get it back, and score. 24 points for Reggie Dixon, 13 in the final quarter, and he's 5 for 5 from the floor. Wonderful numbers for Reggie. You know, at his school, when he's playing at his home site at Rio Mesa, you would be hearing the chants of Reggie, Reggie, Reggie at this point. Tyler is held.
Saw a couple of contests this year between Camarillo and Rio Mesa. You wouldn't believe the energy in the gym. Each school with at least a couple hundred kids standing the whole game. Rio Mesa really representing their school well as Tyler tries to drive to the basket. He's just shoved a little bit by McCoy.
Crocker takes Woods and scores over him. Showed him the ball and got Scott up in the air. And Daniel with the finish, and he has 16.
Well, you have to get Scott in the air before you're in the air.
Woods with the follow. Lazoya missed it in the slam dunk by Scott Woods.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Around the basket, his length and size on either side, offensively or defensively, is, you know, impenetrable in some ways.
Tyler with the bucket. Marte Tyler. Well, he suited up as a freshman. He had a long and productive career at Rio Mesa. Lozoya one-on-one against Tiart. Crocker rebounds. And the West clinging to a 5-point lead, and they were the perceived underdog here. Tyler had it stripped, but he was able to reclaim. Lozoya deflects it out of bounds. Western Stars have 19 seconds to put up a shot. 3:36 left on the big clock. How about this play by Woods?
Look how far away he is from the basket when he makes his initial move. No doubt about the fact that he's going to flush that one down.
Tiart. Rebound Woods. Cirillo had it deflected away. West making the plays.
Yeah, they really are making those hustle plays down low, collecting rebounds, and then scoring on the other end.
That would have been a dagger had Crocker been able to make it. Cirillo. Crocker with the block. Daniel Crocker with a spectacular rejection, but there's a foul.
Crocker misses a three and comes all the way from one corner of the floor to another. Great play from Crocker.
It's the fourth foul on Kenny, and like a regulation high school game, you are allowed 5 in this all-star affair. 1:15-110, just under 3 minutes to play in regulation.
Yeah, these players aren't used to playing a game this long. It'll be interesting to see how they finish it out.
Cirillo with the basket, beautiful inbounds play. Cirillo's put up 16 in this all-star contest. 1:15-112. Dixon from beyond the arc. Rebound Crocker. Marte Tyler. He handles it so well. Couldn't finish. Woods and the East back the other way, down by 3. Pierce for the tie. Patrick Kenny. That's a collision with Lozoya. Grant picked up the foul, and Patrick Kenny will go to the line. I'll tell you this, I was impressed that Lozoya would go toe-to-toe with number 44. That's a big linebacker coming at him.
Yeah, and you see Kenny just completely absorb the contact. I mean, he's collided with some of the best over the years. You think about one of his big assignments in the Pac-5 playoffs was to monitor Thomas Duarte at the tight end position. Of course, in practice every day, he'd go head-to-head with Zach Green. I mean, this guy has played against some tremendous running backs over the years.
A chiseled 230 pounds with a feather touch.
He's a little gassed, and St. Bonaventure, of course, graduated last week. And for Patrick Kenny, this is pretty much it. He's done.
Well, who's your MVP here? I got to think at this point, Reggie Dixon is in line. He's been so productive down the stretch. If indeed the West holds on, and certainly for the East, Grant Lozoya has put on quite a show.
Yeah, it's hard to call it here in these final 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but you're right. It is kind of down to Dixon and Lozoya. It's not the guys we expected coming in. Ron Lee hasn't had his best night. Lozoya has more than picked up the slack. He's just been a whole lot of fun to watch, and we'll see who closes it out strongest. A 5-point deficit for the East. They need to come up with a stop or two and put some points on the board.
Still plenty of time with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. And again, we're with Danny Page. My name is Randy Rosenblum. On Time Warner Cable's Game of the Week on SoCal 101. It has been a dandy. Up and down, a lot of scoring as you could see. A lot of players contributing mightily on both sides. Lozoya, the 3 ball again, the money ball from Grant Lozoya. He has been fabulous, and that cuts it to 2. as we go under 2 minutes to play. Dixon. Crocker's follow shot will not count. There was a foul before the return.
So it looks like Dixon will go to the line to shoot 2, and just let me remind you, in case, Randy, if we were to go to overtime, standard high school rules, 4 minutes.
The two coaches, Chris Ruffinelli of the West and Craig Griffin of the East, very nervous now. Pacing the sideline.
Still 117, 115, and you see Chris in the bottom left of your corner there, the head coach at Rio Mesa. His dad, Rick, a real ambassador for sports in Ventura County. He's been the public address announcer for St. Bonaventure football for, I want to say, the last 40 years.
Long time.
And the PA announcer for Ventura College sports as well.
You know, Don McLean's probably the biggest name ever to come out of this game, out of Simi Valley High School. Played great in the NBA for many years. Currently a commentator, but the way these guys have put it up, maybe down the road we'll have a pro player out of this batch as well. They've put on quite a show for you on Tom Warner Cable.
I tell you what, Don McLean does college basketball these days, the Simi Valley grad, but he would be impressed with the play of these young men. I don't think there's any doubt about that. James Ennis played in this game as well, the Ventura High grad and CIF champion, had a great career at Long Beach State, and he's right on the fringe of being a first-round pick in the NBA draft coming up in a couple weeks here.
Yeah, I saw Ennis a couple times this year for the 49ers, and he was very impressive. The West with a beautiful move from Daniel Crocker here, trying to put this game away.
Crossover from Croc, goes straight to the hoop. Right by Woods, blows by Fanjoy, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Big couple free throws here for this western side.
Yeah, Daniel Crocker very strong with the ball there. So athletic, so physical. I like about him, he can post up, but he can also step out and hit shots, and we've seen that tonight. And builds the lead to 3. 58.7 seconds left. Of course, if he knocks down the next one, it's a 2-possession game. Slajchert in for Woods for the East. Crocker was 16, 50% from the floor, and 5 rebounds. That's clutch foul shooting. 119, 115. Well, the East now is going to have to make it count. These possessions are important. And Ron Lee gets it to fall.
Yeah, we haven't called his name for a while, Randy, but he made it count when it needed to count. A big bucket from Ron Lee Jr., the 2-time reigning county player of the year.
And now the East needs a defensive stop, and they have not had a lot of those tonight. They trap the ball, and they force a turnover. Lee all the way. Could have given his team the lead with a bucket and a free throw. Now he's got to make them at the charity stripe to try to tie the game. Dixon with a smart foul and a hard foul.
Yeah, an important foul for Dixon as long as that didn't go in. It did not. Let's see what Lee can do.
And he tied the game with a brace of foul shots. It's a 1-point difference. 30.7 seconds left. Patrick Kenny has come in.
Question.
Davis is in, yes.
Maybe it's because I'm a soccer guy. What's wrong with a tie?
Wearing one or watching one?
Watching one. Everyone could go home winners if this thing ends up in a tie.
You don't want to see a tie.
Why not? It's an all-star game.
No. You like to win games. And none of these players want to end up in a draw. Lee for the tie. For his 14th point, we're in a deadlock. 119 apiece. The final half minute. And a takeaway. The East, Tanner Fanjoy. It won't count.
And they're glad
There's a timeout.
It would not have counted had it gone in. It did not go in, and with 16.3 seconds left, the East can set up their final play and try and win this thing 121 or 122 to 119.
Well, it's been fun, and See Craig Griffin in the middle of his huddle and Chris Raffanelli on his side. What's been impressive here is suddenly the East trapping, forcing turnovers, and because of it, they will have an opportunity to win the game in regulation.
They want to get the job done here.
At 119. Danny, have you had fun?
Had a great time tonight. Between the girls' game, the slam dunk contest in between, and now this end-to-end battle. It's been brilliant.
West has 18 turnovers to the East 11, and that's been a real opportunity for the West. That's really hurt the West. There's the guy, Grant Lazoya, has had a big game. You would think they might run an isolation play for Grant. He has huge numbers in this one.
Don't count out Ron Lee, though.
Lazoya has 28 points. Here's their final opportunity, and they take the foul. Tyler with the hold.
One more to give.
That's why they took the foul, to be out of bounds on the side. 14.3 to play. Fanjoy into Max McCoy. Well, the East shooting for the game right here. Oh, a reaching foul against Davis. In fact, it's against Jones. DeAndre Jones picked up the foul. Only the 6th, so they had one to give, so that doesn't hurt the side. It's going to come out of bounds again to the East. So some strategy employed by the West, giving those fouls.
Yeah, a nice bit of strategy there from Chris Raffanelli. You're not just going to let him play, stay comfortable. Now they have to take something of a rushed shot. But how exciting would it be, Randy, for one of these young men's high school career to end on a buzzer beater?
That would be exciting, but don't you want overtime? I got to think, though, as we look back here at these coaches doing their thing, that Lazoya's got to be in the middle of this. I mean, he's had the 28 points. He's been phenomenal.
I don't know. It might be Ron Lee because of his ability to create a shot under duress. The 2-time County Player of the Year, it's hard to keep the ball away from him. See what Raffanelli drew up defensively.
Well, there's Lazoya with the big numbers, but will he be the man that takes the shot? They'll pressure the ball with Crocker in front of Fanjoy. And McCoy in the backcourt, and it is Lazoya. They're setting it up for Grant to win the game. For 3. We're going to overtime.
Wow.
Free basketball for everyone on Time Warner Cable. Put 4 more minutes up on the board. We're even at 119. You didn't want it to end. This is too much fun.
Couldn't agree more. And to see these careers continue for these young men, why not, Randy? Why not?
Well, I got to credit the coaching staff. They made the right play. They diagrammed it. Greg Griffin had it all set up for his trigger man, Grant Lazoya. He just couldn't hit the jump shot. We're going to step out and come back for the overtime. Knotted at 119 apiece. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Fans watching a very good one here as we go into overtime, tied at 119 apiece with Danny Page. I'm Randy Rosenblum. Kent Brown handling our stats tonight.
And he has done well.
You evaluate stat people or what?
Well, look at the scoreboard, Rosenblum.
It's fun. He's involved.
119 to 119.
Hey, 4 minutes of overtime action. Eric Davis and Scott Woods to jump it up. Davis controls for the West. Anthony Tiart is trapped. Marte Tyler hits. That's a 3 ball. And it's the West that draws first blood in the overtime.
Yeah, we talked about his defensive prowess, but he shows us his outside game there, setting the tempo. I always feel like that first basket in overtime is so huge.
Lob for Woods. Scott's underneath. Tries it again, and this time he's hitting foul.
Speaking of huge, 6'9" Scott Woods, senior, headed to Stanford. Our last look at him just fighting for it. Dixon with the block, and then eventually on the backside, foul called. I think that was against DeAndre Jones.
Great year for Scott Woods and Royal. They won 25 games this year. This is the first one. East down by 3. Better form. Tyler handling the point. Anthony Tiart has that quick first step.
Yeah, he was a late addition to the roster after Greg Miner for Channel Islands was unable to participate. And I have to say, he has surely earned his spot.
I want to thank again the Ventura County Basketball Coaches Association. They do a wonderful job putting this basketball game together. And this event, earlier they had the girls game. And they do a terrific job organizing this all-star affair. There's a rebound basket by Eric Davis.
If the West is to win this game, we will remember that offensive rebound from Davis.
Banjoy slipped and fell, but there's Woods. And Eric Davis playing in his home gym. Played here for the Tritons. Making a big play in the overtime and then getting the carom. Tyler with the floater. Rebound Dixon. And another follow. Anthony Tiart sneaking in there to get the basket.
The Rio Mesa Spartans, their head coach Chris Ruffinelli leading the West. They're on fire in this extra period.
Lazoya from way downtown. Woods trying to pour it back in, is fouled. Boy, he is a bailout package extraordinaire. Scott Woods able to get those offensive rebounds.
You might see some time one day at Stanford, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think you put a little more weight on him. He's certainly mobile, though, and you like that. You like a big guy that can get up and down the court. But he is, he could be productive.
Sometimes you see a big man at this level and he just kind of takes up space, and that's not Scott Woods. He surely occupies space, but he creates opportunities on both ends of the floor. Gotta love what he does.
Jones sitting down. Woods goes back to the line. 126-121 for the West.
When was the last time you called a game and the scoreboard looked like this?
A few years ago at the Collision games, I believe it was 129-127 in double overtime, but this one could exceed that.
And Chris Ruffinelli uses his only timeout, I believe, of the extra period. He feels like if they can score here and take a 7-point lead, they can win this thing.
I did a number of games of the NBA, but I did one game with the Clippers that got up with the huge numbers when Seattle scored 150. But I had a lot of games in the CBA that were 145, 140 type of games. But it's unusual, and you don't normally see it at the prep level, and it really has been enjoyable.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic evening from the girls' game on to the gentlemen's contest tonight. The score at the end of the first quarter was 33-30. We knew we were in for something special. Who would have thought overtime? And I'm just most impressed by the way the West has performed and kept up with the opposing team in the East that was better on paper.
Well, the West was fueled by the flurry of points on the offensive side, especially off the glass by Reggie Dixon in the fourth quarter. There's number 3 is going to take the ball out, and he has had a splendid night. Reggie Dixon has really performed well, the Rio Mesa Spartan. Again, he's long and lanky. He's even, you look at him, he's 6'4", but he plays more like 6'7" or 6'8". They trap. And Crocker will take it to the basket. Had it blocked away. Lazoya has it. And he's fouled.
Thought he might have been fouled. Excuse me, I thought Daniel might have been fouled. I guess not, but Lazoya will go to the free throw line.
This game is far from over. Down by 5 with Lazoya going to the line.
No, that was just a nice block, really. And then Kroc, you could see the aggression. He just tries to reach out and grab the basketball.
Yeah, Monseg with a beautiful block there. Here's Lazoya. And he missed it. Boy, that one hurts. Pierce got it back. And JD draws the foul.